Starting and operating a coin laundromat business has captured the attention of many, many entrepreneurs. However, is it as profitable, turnkey, and least risky business as they say? Well, today we're about to find out. In this episode, we're featuring Justine Pike and Mike Cox, who couldn't make it to the interview, about a unique approach they've adopted to maintaining, scaling, and growing their business, which they will share all about in today's episode. They bought an existing laundromat here in Ferndale and scaled it to, well, stick around to find out.
We'll pull it out. I'll typically have my cart here, and then I'll dump them in here. It could be a really passive business. I could not have anything to do with it other than to come and exchange money and take money and walk away.
Justine will also talk about their strategies and the potential of buying and opening a laundromat business. Is it worth the investment? How profitable and passive is it? And much, much more. Now, we'll also talk about the hardships of being in a partnership and the ups and downs that come with it.
So having a partner, you reduce your risk.
Is there some psychology behind where the machines are? Stick around to the end to make sure you hear some amazing psychological tips and tricks that they've used in order to position the laundromat machines for the highest profit possible. Take a moment, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let's go ask the owners some amazing, interesting questions. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what in the world are you doing running a coin laundry?
That's a great question. I spent the last 18 years in the military. I was born and raised here in Ferndale, Washington. Actually, in this actual location used to be a laundromat. And as a kid, I'd come down here and get coins and play video games. And since then, I had a friend that opened up a laundromat, and he's opened up another 4 on top of that. And this was one of those locations, but he moved out of state, and he encouraged me to open the laundromat.
So your friend kind of gave you that stepping stone.
Yeah, he pushed me into the way of getting going.
Gotcha. This is really cool. Till we meet again. Bunch of clean socks, I'm guessing, or dirty socks, or both?
Nope, they're all clean. So they're typically socks that somebody leaves behind. We leave them up for a month. And so if someone wants to come and try to reclaim their sock, and after that, we donate them to charity.
That's a good idea. So Justin, let's talk about your initial budget. You mentioned in the beginning $700,000, but we love to break that down as much as we can. Walk us through that.
Okay, so here at this Ferndale Laundromat, we have 56 machines. That includes washer and dryers. With that, we have $476,000 tied up in investments with the cost of the machines.
Okay.
With that, though, that's just not machines, but that's the bulkheads that the machines dump into, and that goes into the sewer system. Mm-hmm. That goes into ventilation that goes up out of the roof. So there's other things just other than the machines that get tied into that total cost. My business partner and myself, we both about $200,000 to combine together, tied into it. Okay. And additionally, then there's some other miscellaneous costs that we've had, buying the computer, buying the tablets. With that $473,000, that helped us get the app. It helped us get the management software for the machines. So all that comes together about $700 and some thousand.
Obviously, the bulk is these beautiful brand new machines.
Right.
Right. For a typical coin laundromat, what are the profit margins? What are you guys shooting for?
We look at our utility bills, and then we have to make a determination of what is profitable or not profitable for us. So typical laundromat is about 15 to 20%. You're going towards your utilities, your rent, your power, your TVs, and all those things. For us right now, we're about 25, 30%. We just don't feel our citizens are willing to pay a price that would get us to those profit margins. So we're willing to take that little bit of a loss to make them happy. And in return, I believe that we're getting more customers coming here with the cleanliness and all those other things. Yeah.
Yeah. So your take-home profit margin is what, 15 to 20% then, or are we talking?
No,
30,
we're
40,
talking. We're looking
50?
Probably 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that about an industry average, you'd say?
50 to 60, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay, those are pretty good margins. What about expenses on a monthly basis? What's the biggest expense for you?
Biggest expense we have right now is water. We're 2-month cycles, so we're at $3,600 to $4,100 in water bill. And that's with the sewer and the storm drain and all that other stuff. Right behind that, we have a $2,000 to $1,500, $1,000 to $2,000 gas bill.
Okay. Wow. So that's a lot for
And
gas
then
too.
our power bill, we put in all LED lights and energy efficient machines and all this stuff, but our power bill is still right around $400 to $500 a month.
Okay.
1,000 every 2 months. And then right after that, we have our labor. And again, if we were self-service, we would cut that right out. But then we also aren't giving the best service that we could possibly give for our customers.
So let's just walk through and take a look at some of your machines. I see you've got the pad here, which is really cool, and I think we'll touch on that a little bit later. But I'm guessing this is for the coins. Can you show us how that works, what the process looks like?
So all these machines are computered. They'll actually tell us how many coins are going in, when they're going in, how many times a day they're going in, how many cycles a day are going on within these machines. And then at some point, we'll make a determination of the day of the week if we need to dump our coin box.
Okay.
So we'll stick our key in, we'll pull it out. I'll typically have my cart here, and then I'll dump them in here, and then I'll go down the line.
Okay.
And they'll end up going back either to the bank or they'll go back into our coin vault for people to pull money out of.
Business-wise, is this a big thing to have, or are you switching over to more high-tech? 'Cause this is a high-tech laundromat by all means.
Right, so we have an app base, so we prefer people to use the app-based program. They earn reward points back by using the app. And also, the purpose of that is it cuts down on my labor of having to physically, needing to have coin on hand, having coin in the coin box, having to go to the bank. I don't have to do that if you use the app. And you can use the app through credit card or you can use it through cash. And so we want this as an option for those people who are used to only paying with coin and don't want to use an app and don't like the app-based program. So it is valuable to still have, but we're trying to get people to use the app and rewarding them by doing so.
What's been the best form of advertising, marketing? Is it print advertising, social media, Facebook? Let's dive into that a little bit and focus on the best.
So we started off with print advertisement. Actually, first we started off online through a local web page that's local Facebook that everyone gets, or email text from a local news source. And then we went to printed text. And then now we're about to start into the mailing and go out into mailers and offer our new service, which is the free home delivery service, Wash and Fold. So far, the best thing that we've found is probably Facebook as of right now. But Google machine itself, just Google. People Google you and your name's on top and you have those nice star ratings next to it. Get people, the number of people like, yeah, I read your reviews. Everyone said they love this place and that's why I came here.
How long did it take you to break even? How long have you been in the business as of today, days-wise? You counting days or months or years now?
We're at days still.
Days, okay.
And then, actually, no, we're in months. And then we'll hit our 1-year anniversary come Thanksgiving. For us, we became profitable about March of 20. And then with the current situation, we went back to day zero. And we slowly built back up to now where we're able to start hiring more employees to be able to get us out of the business. So again, we're kind of right at that. We're still profitable, but I want to employ people and I want people to be here so I don't have to be here as much.
And that gets me to the next question, right? People think this is a really passive business. Is it really? When does it become? What needs to happen in order to truly be as passive as people talk about it? What's your experience?
It could be a really passive business. I could throw these machines in here, not have an office, not have anything to do with it other than to come and exchange money and take money and walk away. For us, I think we're starting to get to that passive position where we'll have enough employees to be here from start to finish, and our only involvement is going to be restocking, reinventorying, handling whatever issues might come up, and then maybe if an employee calls in sick or wants to go on vacation and someone else doesn't want to work for them, just because it's conflict for their day, we'll work for them, right? So it really depends on the individual and where the location is. Can you support a full-time staffed facility, or does it need to be self-service?
Yeah. Justin, I've always been really, really super curious about what's behind these doors that say employees only. So if if you're willing to take us in there, show us what you got.
I'll take you in here and show you what's in the brains of the room.
Okay.
So right here we have our 2 hot water tanks. So when we opened this business, we had to make a decision. Do we go tankless? Do we go on demand? Do we, what's the cost analysis of profit and margins and losses? And we chose to go with 2 tanks here, as you can see. And the reason we went with 2 tanks is because if we had 1 big tank, we would have to have it inspected every year, and that would be a cost.
Interesting. Okay.
And if we had a different type of tank system, it'd have to be inspected every year. And so for us to have someone come in and pay them, X number of dollars to inspect it every year and put a sticker on there saying, yeah, it's still good, it just wasn't worth the cost to us.
So Justin, is there some psychology behind where the machines are, or did you just put them where they best fit?
So when we built this out, or we had the layout, we contracted with our manufacturer, and they gave us the best layout and explained to us why. So we have the 40-pound washers here. Per square foot, you're going to get more washers within this bank of washers than if I put a bunch of 60s here. So I'm getting about 2 more washers.
Okay.
On square footage wise, these washers will bring in more revenue than if I put 60-pounders here. Just because people at home, they see these size, they look at it, they say it's about the same size as theirs at home.
I see, okay.
So they're more willing to use it and be able to get the same amount of washing done. We try to educate them that you can still put the same size 40-pound load over here in the 20s, but a lot of people just psychologically feel it has more room, more space, so therefore they want to use this machine. Mm-hmm. Additionally, we put them here since we're able to get more machines per square foot in here. You can then, it's an easy transition from this machine straight over to the 45-pound dryers. You're not having to get a cart and wheeling it around, not having to lose things in transition. It's all straight right here to here. And that way we are able to facilitate people's needs better.
Talk to us about the benefits of being in the partnerships and the ups and downs and difficulties of having a partner.
Yep.
What can you share with us?
So having a partner, you have the ability to bounce ideas off of another person. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? You reduce your risk. So meaning, if we somehow magically fail, I'm only into it 50% and he's in it for the other 50%. So I'm reducing my risks and loss of income. You have another person to lean on when you go on vacation, they're still here. So that's a good thing. And the biggest thing with any relationship is the communication. He has a vision, I have a vision, he'll start moving on a vision, I'll start moving on a vision, and then next thing you know, we're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? And then at the end of the day, we look at the overall picture, what are we here for? And that's to offer a service to the community that they need. When we're short on cash or something like that, we figure out how to, or hey, the machine's not working today. I'm at my other job. I can't get down there. I can go down there. All right, or whatever that problem is, we have someone else to rely on.
You mentioned location.
Yep.
Anything else you want to share about why this location? I know this was an existing laundromat, but what else can you share with us?
We wanted to put a laundromat in a location where you don't physically have to stay here if you don't want to. We want it close enough to grocery stores, pharmacies, so that you can load up your machine, do your 22 to 29 minute cycle, and be able to run another errand within close distance of somewhere. And so we picked, part of the location was already here. But we also wanted it downtown, next to the pharmacies, next to restaurants, so that people could go to other locations and not be physically stuck here.
Is there a cost to you for utilizing this app?
Yeah, so part of that $473,000 in machines is part of this.
Step out of the picture here.
This right here is the Speed Queens Value Center. So if a person doesn't want to put their credit card on file and they don't have a credit card they can use or don't want to use, or a debit card, they can take physical cash just same as you would do here, and you would put it into the Value Center.
Oh, interesting.
And
okay.
then it'll upload cash to their app.
To your app, okay.
Yeah, to that individual's app. The benefit again is if you use the app, you get 10% back.
It's a good incentive.
Yeah, so basically if you spend $10, you get $1 back. So for every $10 you spend on a machine, you get $1 back.
Is that a cost to you, Justin?
It's
that dollar being given back?
It is a cost per se. It's a write-off for us in taxes when we basically have an expense. It's an expense that we've given in a rewards program. But we look at it as I'm reducing my labor cost by having to run around, fill this box full of coins every day, dumping these boxes every day. It costs me money to buy this and for you to have that convenience. The nice thing with the app is it texts them when their loads are done. It tells them how much time's left on their machine. They can look and see how many machines are currently being used at the laundromat. So if you're at home and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I need to go to the laundromat, like, oh, no, it's too busy. I don't want nothing to do with the laundromat today. There's too many people there.
That's pretty neat.
And so then you can kind of see where the flow is. And say you have this big machine here, number one, and you know that you need to wash your loads of laundry and all your comforters, and you look on the thing and both of them are tied up for the next 23 minutes, you know not to come down for the next 15 minutes so that you can get in line for it.
Well, this is the end of part one. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you can see that this business may not be for everybody, but it has the potential of being a very profitable business. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, and check out part two. The link is in the description below, or hit the thumbnail right here. And thank you for watching.